The invisible thread. Across time and culture, human beings have asked the same haunting question. Do we control our fate? Or are we merely playing out a script written long before we were born? For ancient India, that question took form in a single, powerful idea: karma. A concept so simple it can be spoken in one breath, yet so vast that it can take a lifetime to understand. Today, we explore the riddle of karma, not as a religious dogma, but as a philosophical puzzle. A system that tries to explain why things happen, how morality connects with consequence, and whether destiny is truly in our hands or far beyond our reach. 1. The origins of karma. The roots of karma stretch deep into India's spiritual soil, older than Buddhism, older even than Hinduism in its modern form. The earliest mentions appear in the Rig Veda, one of humanity's oldest texts, written over 3,000 years ago. But in those early hymns, karma didn't mean fate or rebirth. It simply meant action. Over centuries, that word evolved from describing physical deeds to encompassing a universal law. The idea that every thought, word, and intention produces ripples across the cosmos. By the time of the Upanishads, India's great philosophical scriptures, karma had matured into a moral principle. You are not punished for your actions, you are punished by your actions. Every cause has an effect, every seed bears fruit, and no one, not even the gods, can escape that chain of consequence. Karma became the invisible architecture of the universe, a moral physics of existence. 2. The cycle of birth and rebirth. In Western thought, life is often seen as a straight line: birth, life, death, and then eternity. But in Hindu philosophy, existence is a circle. The soul, the Atman, does not die with the body. It moves, learns, and evolves through countless lifetimes. This cycle is called samsara, and karma is the force that keeps it spinning. Every life is shaped by the echoes of past deeds, both visible and invisible. Your birth, your circumstances, your talents and struggles, all are seen as outcomes of your karmic past. To modern ears, that might sound fatalistic, as if karma is just another word for destiny. But that's a misunderstanding. Karma doesn't mean everything is predetermined. It means we inherit tendencies, not sentences. Like a farmer reaping the field he once sowed, we live inside the garden of our own making, and each day gives us a new chance to plant better seeds. 3. Destiny versus free will. This leads to one of philosophy's oldest paradoxes. If karma determines the conditions of our life, what room is left for free will? The Hindu answer is subtle. Yes, the past shapes your present, but it doesn't. Define your response. Imagine a man born blind. That blindness may be the result of past karma, but what he does with it, whether he chooses bitterness or compassion, despair or wisdom, that is new karma in motion. The Bhagavad Gita, perhaps the most famous Hindu text, captures this tension beautifully. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the warrior Arjuna hesitates, torn between duty and despair. Krishna, his divine guide, tells him, "You have the right to action, but not to the fruits of action." This line is the heartbeat of karma philosophy. We are free to act, but not free to control the outcomes. What matters is not the result, but the intention. Karma, then, is not fate chaining us. It is awareness liberating us. To act rightly without attachment, that, the Gita says, is the key to freedom. 4. Karma and moral accountability. If karma is real, does it mean every suffering person is somehow responsible for their pain? That interpretation has caused centuries of debate, and sometimes injustice. The ancient sages were careful. Karma is not blame. It is not a courtroom verdict. It is an explanation for moral causation, a reminder that the universe operates through balance, not vengeance. Suffering, in this view, is not punishment. It is education. The soul learns empathy through loss, patience through delay, humility through failure. But that doesn't mean others can ignore suffering, saying it's just their karma. The Dharmic ideal insists that compassion and service, seva, are the highest expressions of understanding karma. Because your actions toward others are seeds of future worlds, your kindness or cruelty will eventually find you again. Thus, karma becomes a mirror. Every act reflects the kind of person and the kind of world we are creating. 5. Karma and science. Can it be proven? In the modern age, karma often faces a skeptical audience. Science demands evidence, and karma, being invisible, cannot be measured in a lab. Yet, interestingly, modern psychology has found patterns that echo karmic thinking. Studies in behavioral science show how our actions and attitudes create self-reinforcing cycles. A person filled with resentment tends to attract conflict. A person who practices gratitude and empathy tends to experience more social support. Even neuroscience reveals how habits, thoughts, and emotions rewire the brain over time, shaping who we become. In that sense, karma can be understood as a deep psychological truth. What we repeatedly think, feel, and do eventually defines our reality. Whether we call it cause and effect or karma, the principle remains. The universe and the mind both respond to the energy we put into them. 6. The 3 types of karma. Hindu philosophy divides karma into 3 categories, a kind of metaphysical accounting system. Sanchita karma, the accumulated karma from all past lives. Think of it as the sum total of your spiritual history. Prarabdha karma, the portion of that karma currently bearing fruit in this lifetime. Kriyamana karma, the actions you perform now, shaping future outcomes. Together, they form a dynamic flow between past, present, and future, a moral ecosystem. Your present is influenced by your past, but it's also the soil in which your future grows. This is where the power of free will enters. The past may shape your circumstances, but your choices still write the next chapter. In essence, you are both actor and author, cause and consequence. 7. The path to liberation. If karma binds us to the cycle of rebirth, is there a way to escape it? The answer lies in moksha, liberation from the wheel of samsara. Moksha doesn't come from accumulating good deeds alone. It comes from transcending the very idea of doership. When one realizes that the true self, the Atman, is beyond action and beyond consequence, the chain of karma dissolves. The sage sees that the self is not the body, not the mind, not even the ego that claims I act. Actions continue, but the sense of ownership fades. The Bhagavad Gita calls this karma yoga, the path of selfless action. In that realization, karma transforms from a burden into a teacher, leading the soul toward understanding, compassion, and freedom. 8. Karma. In everyday life, outside temples and scriptures, karma lives in the simplest of moments. When you hold a door for someone, when you speak truth instead of comfort, when you act with integrity even when no one is watching. Karma is not about cosmic bookkeeping. It's about awareness. Every moment asks, what kind of world are you creating through your choices? Because in the web of human life, every act of honesty strengthens the collective truth. Every act of kindness weakens cruelty's hold. In a time when blame spreads faster than reflection, karma reminds us that responsibility is not a burden, it's power. It tells us that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can always control the meaning we give it. That is how destiny becomes dialogue. 9. Karma and the modern world. In today's world of rapid change, the ancient idea of karma might feel distant, but perhaps it's more relevant than ever. When climate change punishes our planet, we're witnessing collective karma, the result of human choices multiplied over generations. When societies struggle with inequality or violence, we're facing the karmic echoes of greed, fear, and neglect. Karma invites us to zoom out, to see our actions not as isolated, but interwoven. Every purchase, every vote, every word online, they all ripple outward. The universe may not judge, but it always responds. So the question is no longer, do we believe in karma? The question is, are we aware of it? 10. The eternal balance. In the end, karma is not just about fate or reward, it's about relationship, between self and action, between mind and consequence, between individual and universe. To live with karmic awareness is to walk through life awake, knowing that every choice echoes beyond this moment. It is to act not out of fear, but out of understanding, not for reward, but for harmony. And maybe that's the real secret behind the riddle of karma. Not that destiny is written in stone, but that it is written in sand, constantly reshaped by the tides of our actions. Our lives are not predetermined scripts. They are improvisations in an endless cosmic play. And with each act of courage, compassion, or truth, we change the story, just a little, for everyone who comes after us. The final reflection. So, do our actions truly decide destiny? The answer, perhaps, is both yes and no. We are not the sole authors of fate, but we are always collaborators. Karma doesn't promise control, it promises meaning. It reminds us that even the smallest act, a word, a gesture, a thought, carries power. Because in the great mystery of existence, nothing disappears. Everything returns. And in that eternal return, the soul learns, again and again, how to live wisely, how to love deeply, and how to act with awareness. That, in the end, is the truth behind the Hindu riddle of karma. Subscribe to Timeless Questions channel to receive more thought-provoking content about philosophy, human nature, and the mysteries of existence.